Parent Crafty Hope, and welcome. It is time for the week 39 mixed media prompt card for hashtag Crafty Hope prompts. Crafty Hope prompts is a challenge I created for myself, realizing that there are 52 cards in a regular playing card deck and 52 weeks in a year, and I thought that was a great opportunity to create myself a prompt deck. I am doing that by taking a list of prompts. I made a list of 156 prompts, cut them up, put them in this jar, and each Monday I'm pulling 3 of those prompts and altering one of those playing cards, so that at the end of my 52 weeks I will have a full deck of playing cards with prompts on them. Now my intention is to pull like 3 of these at a time, maybe, and then say, okay, I'll do the top ones of each, or 1, 2, and 3, or something along those lines. So the only time that I will use all 3 of these together is this week. So I hope that makes sense. So Mondays, I pull 3 prompts, alter a card, front and back with those prompts, and then on Saturday of each week, I use those 3 prompts again, so that I have some other project besides the card that has been altered with those. Sometimes it's an art journal or junk journal page like I did this past week. Sometimes it's jewelry. Sometimes it's tags or bookmarks or assemblage projects or all kinds of things. I always look around my room when I say that part, because I'm like, what have I made? I know I've made all kinds of things. I've done canvases and little wall hangings and all kinds of stuff. It varies depending on how those prompts inspire me. You were invited to play along on this challenge. You can use the prompts that I draw each week, those 3, or I've got my full list of 156 prompts down below that you can pull your own. And you can do that, pull 1 prompt, 2 prompts, 5 prompts, and play along that way. Or, you know, start now and build your own deck with those. I just ask that you use the hashtag Crafty Prompts so that I can see what you have made. But those hashtags are getting harder and harder to find online. All of those social medias keep hiding them from me. So if you would tag me, I'm at Crafty Hope, and that way I can, you know, I get notified for sure when you tag me. Alright guys, this past week I had the prompts blue, staple, and charcoal, and I made this card. So it's my functional card. I made my functional side and my decorative side. And it's time to draw 3 new prompts for week 39. Alright, I'm going to put these over here. And then open this up. So we're going to go ahead and get prompt number 1 out. Make sure I've just got 1. It's all folded up. All right. So this one is a fun one. It says coffee/walnut ink. So that is basically an option or a combined. So coffee, I keep a little cup here. I'm gathering again. I keep instant coffee around so that I can use instant coffee, but I also have like walnut ink crystals, or I have this little jar where I've taken the walnut ink crystals and mixed it up into an ink. You could use a coffee to like dye some fabric or paper or something like that. Just how would you integrate coffee or a walnut ink into something? Even like just a regular brown ink. I've got a transparent raw umber ink or something that kind of has that same kind of dark brown color that a coffee or walnut ink would have on something. I like that prompt. Okay, that's prompt 1. Prompt number 2 is going to be RubOn. Alright, this may be something that not everybody has. You could use maybe a sticker or something else instead, but basically I found these at the Dollar Tree. Tim Holtz has made them. He calls them remnant rubs, I believe. I've got some from 7 Gypsies, but they are on some kind of material where you can take a popsicle stick or a bone folder and rub on it, and that transfers onto something else. Almost kind of like one of those temporary tattoo type things, but without the water. So if you don't have a RubOn, maybe a sticker or something along those lines. Maybe I'm trying to think what else. Maybe you have some of those non-permanent, those temporary tattoos that you could rub on. What else would substitute for it? I know there's something and I can't put my finger on it. But basically it's some kind of design that's transferred on something. So if you even just need to use a stamp, that would be fine. It's just some kind of, and most of the time they're like black or white or a solid color. So Like I said, I found them at the Dollar Tree many times. So hopefully you can find an alternative if you don't have them. All right, last prompt, here we go, is sticker. Oh my gosh, so RubOn and sticker. That's going to be interesting. All right, well, at least this is like a background thing, and then these, well, I think I can work with it. Yeah, so sticker. It's a general sticker. It's just something with the sticky weather that is a decorative sticker, or maybe one you've made, even like reinforcers, like the little donut looking stickers, or a label for a something. Actually, somebody just sent me these like canceled out FedEx stickers, so just something with like a sticky back on it would work as a sticker. If you've got one of those Xyron machines or sticker maker where you can run an image through it and peel it off and make a sticker, I might do that, y'all. I've got one of the like fake ones. Oh no, that's fake. Anyway, okay, let me grab some of these things and I will be right back to alter a card. That was really easy since I keep my rub-ons and stickers in kind of the same place, but it was hard to narrow it down, so I could change my mind. So I'm going to tell you what I've got. Coffee, walnut ink. First coffee, I have my little container of dried up, you can see, dried up instant coffee that I can reconstitute, add more to. Like I said, I've got this just dropper that I've got walnut ink crystals mixed into some water to make walnut ink. I could pull the crystals out as well. We'll see. They tend to make a mess. I've already got them mixed up the way I like. For RubOn, I do have some of the Tim Holtz RubOns. Here are some from the Dollar Tree that I could use letters and numbers, or some of these fun little flourishes. And then I've got these, which come a little differently, because you can see these are like on this like acetate that you pull up and then rub on. This is something I got at Michael's Forever Go. It's from 7 Gypsies, and it's on this like almost like tissue paper, and it you rub this off this way. So, and I really like that one. I may use that one since it's already cut out there. So those are super fun too. So I have that for rub-ons, and then stickers. I grabbed a variety. I picked up a big package that had like scrapbooking stuff in it, and it had a lot of these like sticker sets from scrapbooking sets. So I might use some of these. I might go grab some others. I've got some I've made by doing jelly prints and putting like label stickers on it. Not sure where those are, but I could probably find them if I looked. I have some vintage stickers here. I mean, y'all look at these from like the 70s or 80s. That would be super cute too. So we'll see. We'll see where this goes. I'll tell you that right now my mind is... Oh, I also grabbed these little like I don't know, resined accent stickers, so those could be interesting too. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just get started. My idea is rub-ons could be in the background and then stickers as a focal, but we'll see. And I started this the way I start all of my altered playing cards for this project, and that is with some collage. I don't like the plastic lamination on the cards, so I cover it up. I give myself a new surface by just putting down scrap papers, book pages for the most part. This one I really love, y'all. I'm going to have to make some more of that. That is an avocado die, I believe, that I created and just happened to put on some paper to test it out. I'll tell you, I ended up using the rest of that avocado dyeing some like an old tablecloth or part of an old tablecloth, and didn't get too many papers altered with it. So I think I'm gonna have to save some more avocado pins and make a dye, because I really like that piece of paper. So I'm using acrylic matte medium there to glue down my papers. You could also use maybe a glue stick or a matte gel, whatchamacallit, something, you know, that is nice and adhesive. So I am sticking all of that down. And sorry, I'm distracted. I just got a text in. I am
Yeah, I'm covering this up, making sure I coat it really well. You can see some reason I had a really hard time with some of those papers, especially on the edges for this, and it will bother me throughout this card, but it's okay. I really like how this card ends up. Maybe not as much as my last one, but it's still really nice. So I've got that one side collage. I'm not going overboard. I just, like I said, want to cover up that plastic coating, and I don't know. I don't really care for the numbers showing, or the, in this case, the ace heart showing, which I guess really isn't that bad. It is an element. I don't know. I just don't like it on there. So here I'm putting this down, and I put that notebook paper down, and it's kind of thin, so I could still see the ace through it. So I'm trying here to cover that up with more of that avocado marked paper. So just getting a little bit of something down. Yeah. And I, have to check and recheck everything. Now, throughout this, I told you I was having trouble with the edges. This one never quite, I don't know what happened. It just never felt quite dry. So I was constantly the card itself felt like damp and floppy the whole time. And it could be the weather here. It has been raining, I don't know, it probably only 4 days in a row, but it feels like it's been 2 weeks. It's just been storming and storming. So I am, yeah, cutting that down. Like, see me, I'm continuing to mess with the edges of it, and they're pulling up, and I was like, I think it's just damp. So yeah, I was being so precise with it, and I don't know why. That's not my usual jam. I was just like, frustrated. So I'm gonna dry it again, like I said, because everything just kept feeling really damp. So this one side that doesn't seem to have a whole lot to it, I'm going to alter it with these rub-ons here. I kind of like that. It was just kind of like an old ad or something for pens. So I am going to, yeah, take my bone folder and use that. You could use anything with rub-ons to rub them off. A lot of them come with like a popsicle stick, or a what are those things for nails, like an orange stick, is that what they're called? You could use the back of your scissors, or just kind of any kind of a hard material that'll rub on there. If you've got something more precise, maybe those little, like, some clay tools or something. You can use whatever. Anything works. Just, as long as it will press on there. I will say some of these work great. They come off really easy. Some of the ones on the acetate are not as cooperative. The Tim Holtz ones I haven't had a problem with, but there are some other brands that are iffy. All right, do you see what I did here, y'all? I tried to rub it off in the wrong direction, so I lost some of my image. That's fine. That was me rushing and not paying attention to what I was doing. And really, I am not using these for the words, for the images. I'm using them for texture. So this is all just kind of marks in the background. I felt like I had too many gaps in there, so I'm going to go in and cut off another little image. I think I end up getting a button, and I love buttons, y'all. So I was just looking for something kind of small that I could add in some of those little gaps. So this button here works perfect. I'm going to rub it on, and I don't know why I kept with that same stuff. I could have used any of the other rub-ons that I have. I didn't have to stick to just the same ones on that side. I could have combined them with other things to get this altered, but yeah. So that's some nice texture there in the background, and I'm going to go over it. We go ahead and bring in my coffee. So I've reconstituted that coffee. I'll have a link to the coffee I like. It's a Nescafe dark roast. I will warn you that coffee can be sticky. I've had some cheaper brands that will stay sticky forever. And this one, it does get a little sticky, but it's not as bad as some of the others. And once it sits for a while, it's not as sticky. So if you prefer, just use the walnut ink or some other brown ink that's not going to give you that like stickiness to it. So I was, as of that point, still not sure what I wanted to do with some of the other prompts, and which side was going to be my functional side and which was going to be my decorative. So I was like, let me turn it over and get started on the other side. So there I pulled out some of that walnut ink. Like I said, this is made from walnut ink crystals. I put it in a little jar with some water and made some ink. So that's been wet and moved around, and I'm going to pick it up with a paper towel. So basically just kind of turned that little bit into, I don't know, grunged up, gave it a little bit of a brown, aged hue to it. And I wanted a little more darkness from the walnut stain like I got from the coffee or the walnut ink. So I will, yeah, just kind of move it around with my fingers so I'm not picking up too much of it. And then I will try it just like that. Now, both the coffee and the walnut ink will move around. They are not permanent. So just keep that in mind with any of your other things if that's what you're going to use. If you use an acrylic ink, maybe in a brown as a replacement, you won't have the problems. So there's my Liquitex gold ink that I love, and I'm doing some mark making with it. I decided to put some X's for some reason. I don't know. Just wanted to do something different with that acrylic ink than splatter it. So I did that. And then for more, this is Twisted Citron Distress Oxide and one of my hand carved stands, which is also an X shape. And y'all, something happens to this. It like, I don't know if it soaks into the inks and stuff that are in the background or if it just blots off because you see, I do try to dry that Distress Oxide, but I don't know, it's going to fade. It will not be as obviously that limey green color when I flip this back over. So you can see I decided that this side here is going to be my side with my prompts on it. So I'm inking those up with some Walnut Stain Distress ink and my little dauber. And I had cut them out of my thing. Y'all don't need to see me cut that out. And now I'm going to bring sticker in. I had noticed that this pack of scrapbooking stickers had had some like triangles, which are probably for banners or something like that. But I thought that they would be really neat to go above and below my prompts. This is something I've done this shape before. Did I have triangle on something before and had to use triangles? And I did something similar. But you know, these are already just stickered on there, and I don't have to make my functional side so as decorative. It just needs to, you know, highlight them. So once I put my stickers down, I am putting my words down. And then I wanted to, wait, do I do this now or later? I'm trying to remember what I do. Yeah, I decided to grab my Stabilo pencil and highlight those stickers a little with the Stabilo. So I'm going to go around them. And of course, because that Stabilo is water reactive, I'm going to grab a little brush that is wet and activate that Stabilo. All right, I think there might be one more thing I do on this side before I'm done. I kept flipping between the two sides, so I'm sorry if some of this gets a little wonky, but it was like, okay, I did something here, I'm going to flip it over. All right, so this is what's it called? Sea glass. It's Americana craft paint and sea glass. I thought it matched the color of those stickers almost perfectly. So I decided to go ahead and add that color elsewhere on my card. And that helps push back some of that RubOn that I had on there so the words aren't as, they don't stand out as much. So now I'm going to try that splatter I put on there, and I flip back over to the other side and I'm like, all right, now I got to put stickers over here. And I don't know, I kept flopping around, but I really liked these gold stickers that spell out love. So I am going to stick those down. In the center of that O, I picked it up and I tried to put it on back on the sticker sheet, and it kept winding up on my finger. I was like, oh my gosh, I think I finally got it in the trash because I could not get it off my finger. See, there's me trying to get it, and it was, ugh. So that's there, and it kind of blended into the background. So I was like, well, I need to highlight this with something. So I grab my Dollar Tree roller ball pen that I love, and I am tracing these letters inside and outside. And then I will grab that same little wet paintbrush I used with the Stabilo a minute ago and use that to smear that pen, but only in like a way that you would add like a shadow. So like only on like the right side and the bottom of it to give it a little bit of a shadow. And I decided that I would just use some of these flourishy rub-ons here to accent that focal of the word love on there. So I'll cut those out individually because if I try to do it straight from the page, I'll end up getting messing up all those other ones. So this is the best way I have found to work with a rub-on, is to just cut it out and place it where you want it. And again, I'm using my bone folder, and I'm going to do this on the bottom of the love as well. But you can see here those X's that I had stamped with the Distress Oxide just aren't showing up. You can kind of, if you look close and maybe in the pictures here at the end of the video, you'll see some of that Twisted Citron, but it's just not there. And I think it just rubbed off because that Distress Oxide does say wet for so long. And what didn't rub off probably just soaked into everything else on the card. But it's fine. I can see, like from here, I can see one of the X's up at the top that I stamped. So it's just what it is. I wanted this lightened up a little, so I've got my Sharpie, what is that? It's a Sharpie paint marker, and just making some little white dots on it. Because that, whatchamacallit, that walnut ink is water reactive, it will soak up some of those white dots, but it's not a big deal. I've got them on there. I'm happy. I will dry it, and then, let's see, what do I do? I know I do something else. I was really feeling like I needed, I'm going to write my number here on that side, and on the other side, I'll go back. I'm going to ink the edges again with Distress ink in walnut stain, but I felt like I didn't have enough of something on somewhere. Oh, and see, I'm using black soot on this side because I had the black accents on here. Just, y'all, something felt incomplete, and I'm going to try to fix this side of the card because I don't feel like it has enough black on it. So I'm going to grab that rollerball pen again and try to make some scribbly marks on it, which, and you can see I'm trying to pull them out. I don't really like them. I like the black of it, but I didn't like the scribbly marks. So I'll end up grabbing my wet paintbrush again and kind of moving them around and taking off some of them. And I think once that is done, I'm done with this card. It was a little bit of a struggle. That shouldn't have been, because these are all things that I really like to work with. I think I just kind of, I don't know. But I like this card. I like it fine. It uses those prompts effectively. I think I just need to play with them some more. Oh, when I do frame this up with that same pen, I'm just going to put some scribbly lines around it, and that'll be done. All right, guys, if you like this, make sure to give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. Let me know if you have any questions, and I do hope you get inspired to play along. And I will see y'all very soon. Thank you for spending this time with me. I will see y'all later. Bye.